final score from Finn Park tonight. St Patrick's League 2, Finn Harps 0. Goals scored in each half from Billy King and Matt Smith. Follows a very professional performance tonight by St Pat's. Completely controlled the game after they scored the first goal. Up to the first goal went down, it was a very tight affair. Not many chances created by both sides, but St Pat's looked very clinical tonight. And they took the 2 goals well. I thought Billy King was the man of the match tonight, along with Chris Forrest in midfield. Paddy Barrett had a good performance in defence. And Ryan Coughlin played well up front. He made the second goal for Matt Smith, who scored his first goal since the side from Waterford. But overall, I thought it was a very professional performance. Ollie got his usual yellow card tonight. Harps didn't really create that much, but I thought like Mark Hoyle was did well tonight. David Webster and Barry McNamee played well. Siddiqui went off injured. Hope it's not too serious. I was proud to see John DeLevy make his debut tonight, a local lad from Ballybofey. But big game now, come up against Shamrock Rovers next Friday night against the champions. A free hit for us, but we're kind of looking forward now against Derry City. All I can say is this is an important game for us, but we all come good again. Up the Harps.
How's it going, guys? I'm just here to give a quick reaction to Finn Harps versus Pats in Finn Park today. So I thought the game started off pretty cagey, to be honest. I think Pats and Finn Harps were sort of both pretty reckless in possession. I think maybe Finn Harps are probably used to doing that a fair bit, but I thought Pats then played into their game and, didn't really get their foot on the ball. And I think for the first 25-30 minutes, we really missed Robbie Benson in the middle of the park. Lennon and Forrester weren't really getting on the ball and dictating the game as much as they usually would. And then, as the game went on, I thought Coughlin grew more into the game. I think he started out on the right-hand side of the midfield, but then sort of moved up front, which definitely helped Pats in their build-up play. Then obviously the first goal for Pats came minutes after Coughlin moved up top. It was a nice ball. We sort of switched the play from a throw-in over by the left all the way up to Coughlin, who flicked it around the corner and played Billy King in, who finished pretty well, to be fair. Then I think Pats, after the first goal, they started to really show their class. I think, once again, the defence is pretty good. Can't remember Finn Harps ever really troubling Euros. Then the second goal came in. It was another good bit of play by Pats, I thought. You had Billy King on the right, the right-hand side of the midfield. He was sort of drifting. I thought he maybe played in behind the 2 strikers, Coughlin and Smith, but he'd occasionally be sort of drifting out wide sometimes. It was a bit of a weird one. It was a very, very fluid attack, I think, but Billy King then played in Ronan Coughlin, who played a beautiful cross into Matty Smith for a header, which, can only do him wonders. So it's nice. I think Pats have spread the goals out a lot between the front 3 or 4 now at this stage, so obviously it's a bit worrying that Coughlin is after coming off, so it's nice that people like Matty Smith and Billy King have a goal to maybe up their confidence, and hopefully that will benefit Pats in the long run. So now Pats play Longford now next week. Longford obviously probably doing a bit better than people would have expected so far. So it'll be interesting to see how we can nullify their attack, especially because, let's be real, Aaron Dobbs, Dylan Grimes, A. Dervin, they have a lot of good players that are definitely capable of hurting Pats in the counter-attack. So I'm looking forward to it. Still unbeaten. 7 games, 5 wins, 2 draws. So, can't ask for much more than that. So looking forward to it.
Hey lads, Philip here. The morning after, the night before. What a smashing game of football. Shamrock Rovers 2, Bohemians 1. Both managers set up really, really strongly, I thought, to go and attack the game, which was quite evident. First 5 minutes of the game, Rovers were fantastic. Best couple of minutes I've seen them play football this year. They were completely dominant in the first 5 minutes and got the goal they deserved. Although after that, Bohs instantly reacted and grew straight into the game. Burt misses an absolute sitter, which he should score to make it 1-1, but Bohs get their compensation with some good football that led up towards their goal. So 1-1 I thought was quite reasonable. And there was a couple of other chances in the half, most notably Aaron Green missed an absolute sitter. But overall, really, really good first half. Second half then, the game kind of was still back and forth. I thought the changes that were made by Bradley and by Long did help the game, but personally I thought it was a very entertaining second half as well, leading up towards the penalty where the game's been killed. Now, like, the penalty itself, initially last night, me and a couple of pals that were watching it thought it was very soft, but we didn't see the replay. I've seen the replay this morning. Up until this morning, I thought it was a penalty. It wasn't a penalty. Well, it could have been given, but I didn't think it was. I thought it was very soft on Bohs. But I've looked back on the replay. If you go and look at the replay, you'll see where we're coming from. He is pulled back, and myself and Keeper chatting about this morning. If the player continues his run into the box and he's still being pulled, the referee can award the penalty. So, one of my mates said last night, I have to agree with him, you didn't really see much of the referee up until that point. And the big decision in the game, originally I thought he got it wrong, but he's got it right. So, yeah, overall delighted with the 3 points, and onwards and upwards.
Alright everyone, just quick little reaction to the game last night out in Tana. Finished Shamrock Rovers 2, Bohs 1. It's obviously very disappointing to lose the first derby of the season, but I thought as a whole the performance was better. Conceding early is obviously very disappointing, very hard to bounce back from, but we thought they done that very well. Like, you know, for the next sort of 60 or 70 minutes after we conceded that goal, we thought we were the better team. We created the better chances. Obviously, me and Bohs missed a great one. The build-up night for Ross Tierney's goal was superb. We obviously created a couple of more chances. We kind of deserved to go ahead at times in the game, and I actually said, you know, before the game, I would have snapped your hand off for a draw, but come 60 or 70 minutes, I was saying, if we don't win this, I'll be disappointed. So then obviously the penalty, you know, it's debatable, but like up in Dundalk 2 weeks ago, we rolled our luck. They should have had a penalty, we had a penalty. I suppose that's just, you get some decisions, you don't get some other decisions. But overall, good performance, happy with it. Something to build on for going into the next couple of games, you know, the sort of make or break point of the season. But I thought a couple of good performances from Ali Coote, Ross Tierney, Liam Board, Keith Ward. I thought Tyreek Wilson had another great game. I suppose like taking Keith Ward off was probably the thing that I wouldn't have done, because I thought he was sort of our creative spark, and going into those sort of last 5 or 10 minutes, he was sort of what we needed, you know, someone who can put the ball into the box. I thought when he went off, we sort of lost that bit of creativity. But look, as I said, overall as a performance, happy enough with it. And going into Derry next week, hopefully get the 3 points up there and build into draw down the Monday. Thanks.
So I finished Cabinteely 1, Shelbourne 3. Really good game, probably the strongest we've seen Shelbourne so far this season. Got off to a flying start, I think, inside the first 2.5 minutes. I think they made about 2 or 3 great chances already. Really came out the gates flying. Wasn't too long into the game that they got a penalty. Clear as day. About to take a shot, kind of left his back leg out, and it was taken down by a Cabinteely defender, which gave O'Connor his first goal of the season when he stepped up to take the penalty, who I think really deserves it. In my eyes, he's been one of the most consistent players for Shelbourne. His ability to hold up the play at the top end of the pitch is fantastic. Hasn't really got a chance to get many goals because of that second striker role that he's been playing, so I'm really happy for him to get that goal. Shells continue to dominate. The second goal was a stunning goal. It was just a kick out by Clark at from the Shelbourne box. It was a one-touch then by Shane Farrell on the right-hand wing, which then led the ball to just sit just outside the box. He then right-footed it, and it went up and over to the top left-hand corner of the goal. Really, really fantastic. I would encourage anyone to check it out, because it was really, really something. Again, Cabinteely couldn't find their feet. It was very, very much Shelbourne. In the second half, they did be a bit more competitive. But then Shelbourne made it 3-0 with a free kick at the edge of the box. It was deflected off a Cabinteely man in the wall, which then lifted the ball kind of up and over. Keeper got like fingertips, but then pushed it onto the post and it went in. So massive amount of luck for that third goal. but you can say Shelbourne didn't really deserve it. It was pretty much all them. Clark would probably be disappointed though he didn't keep the clean sheet till the end. A ball just came over the top. Shell's defender went to clear it and just completely sliced it, and it just led to a Cabo striker who headed it up and over the keeper. The game finished 3-1, as I said. All in all, very good game. Shelbourne looking positive. That's 3 wins in a row now for them. So, doing well. Hopefully they get from strength to strength now, but we'll see. So, yeah.
Hi Keith, I'm just watching our Cork City game there versus Treaty United. It's a bit of a deja vu thing here with City now at the moment. Not good enough, simple as that. And actually, out of everything with our games, following City as a club, over the years, Cork City fans, the most important thing as a City player would be if you gave 100% for the club, you wouldn't have to be technically excellent or just, not one of these players that stands out, but a fella who'd go through a wall for the club, or, just have a bit of pride in the shirt and, a bit of heart or something, and put in a challenge here and there that shows, your love for the club. There's nobody out there at the club at the moment who's it's if they don't want to do it or something, and these are fellas that are getting paid every week to play for your club. I don't know if other contributors have players like that in their club, but with City at the moment, just seems to be most of them, as good as all of them really. It's not even down to the results now; it's down to that. It's just down to a bit of pride. It seems to me I'm coming on every week, and it's kind of the same thing. It kind of reminds me of Roy Keane with Fred. Kind of giving out over the same thing every week. It's the same with Cork City. Have a bit of balls, get stuck in, give a fella fucking, even if you give a bad challenge, and just a bit of fight. If you're out in the cross there, and especially for over the years with City there, that, as I said, some players who played for City, and a good example there is Mark Isolde that played with them there up to a couple of years ago that came from Avondale. Mark was never a great technical player, at that level. But Mark he'd break his balls to try and win a ball or get stuck in or anything. And he was adored by the City fans because of that. And I'd say if there were City fans out there, the players are lucky there's no fans out there, because I reckon they'd be slaughtered. It's just not good enough. And I mean, the 2 goals again tonight. The first goal, they won a corner, hit the bar, came across to the far post. Nobody marking your man. Easy goal. The second goal again, ball, they got a throw in. Your man flicked the ball on, and I don't know whether it was McNulty or one of the centre halves. It was hard to tell with the telly. But just what a goal to give. What a soft, pure, just soft goals to be given away. And it doesn't matter what level you're playing at. It's just not good enough. It's a sad state of affairs at the moment. The only positive I'm looking at it from tonight is that if City win their game in hand, they're only 4 points off second. I know that's how kind of tight the league is at the moment. Any players really stand out tonight? Alec Byrne done well in midfield. Dale Holland done well. Actually, just to commend the 2 lads who done the commentating there for Treaty tonight. It was excellent commentating, so well done to the 2 of them. It was very clear and just a very good commentating show done by the 2 lads, so fair play to them. And even though they were calling Dylan McGlade Jack Grealish there at times with his socks, that's about the only comparison really with Jack Grealish and Dylan McGlade, because it's an insult to Jack Grealish. The boy needs to be dropped. City could have went 2 down just before they equalised, so they were lucky. Didn't deserve nothing out of the game again, and that's it.
Full time. Blues won, Longford 0. Change of scenery today. I'm away from home, but with Watch LOI, I have to say the stream was very good today. It's a start. So yeah, it's nice to have that. Hopefully it continues when the crowds return. But more on the match. Quite happy with that. The performance, there's a lot to unpack. It's still very soon after the game. Emotions might be running a bit high, but I think that for them to play the last 20 minutes with 10 men and to perform like that and to dig in and really they showed a lot of character, and that's something that I was thoroughly impressed with, because it would be very easy to lie down and accept defeat at that stage or play for a draw. They really didn't. They dug in and they had a few chances. Maybe they could have been 2-0 up. I thought one performance in particular that had to get special mention was Prince Mutunguma. He was unlucky not to get a second goal, but look, it was a mistake that led to his first goal, but another striker might have missed that. And he's had a rough start to life here in Waterford, and for him to get that, I was delighted. Hopefully he kicks on and he produces more goals as a result of that. Longford, I think, will rightfully feel hard done by that they didn't get anything. I just felt they were lacking an end product. They played a lot of very nice passing football and created a lot of chances, but they didn't take any of them, so to speak. Paul Martin, I thought, was very good when called upon. The red card incident with Kyle Ferguson is a bit unfortunate. I didn't see exactly. I'm going to have to look at that later. It seems like, judging from the reaction, that he did elbow the player he was marking, which is unfortunate. But Josh Collins, when he stood in, I thought looked very capable. But Kyle Ferguson is still going to be a loss for us. But we've got a thin squad, but we've got the players we've got. I think we can do a lot with. Very thoroughly delighted with the determination shown. I thought the performance, especially in parts of the first half, was patchy, but once we went down to 10 men, we dug in, and it's very hard not to be a little bit proud of that, and especially with the results going the way they did around us, with Derry winning in Sligo and Dundalk beating Drogheda. It's vitally important that we picked up 3 points today. So happy. I normally you'd be doubting things like, we weren't that sure in control that we might have liked to have been, but wins as they come for this season are going to be very hard to come by, I think, so I'll celebrate them while I can. We move on to Dundalk and Rovers next. It's going to be 2 very tough games. We're going to be very, very lucky if we even get 1 point out of those 6, so I'll enjoy this win while I can.
That's it, lads. We won it. We won a game. We've candles. We've cake. Balloons. Dundalk have won. Dundalk won a football match in 2021. 2-1 Dundalk. Absolutely fantastic. Buzzing for it, so I was. Absolutely great game. Unbelievable. Dundalk played fantastic, especially first half. Dundalk were very, very good in the first half. That was the true Dundalk coming out now. We'd seen that. Han, especially, I thought Han was fantastic. He deserved to get that goal. That second goal he got was brilliant. The first goal from David McMillan in the first half really clinched the first half. That was what we needed in the first half. We needed something like that. We needed to come out early, strong, good, solid goal. Very good goal. Then Drogheda came at us in the second half. Very good. Can't take away from Drogheda there. We won't. They probably were the better team in the second half for most of it. But it was a simple thing that they didn't do. Didn't track back quick enough. Dundalk broke very fast. Han was superb for his goal. I cannot get over that. But of course, Dave McMillan, a goal and an assist. He is the man of the match. That is without a doubt. And of course, though, Drogheda had to go and ruin everything. Couldn't let us have our clean sheet. Always do it to us. Oh, yeah. Still no clean sheet for Dundalk. Still search for that. But hey, we got the win. And most importantly, we got it on my birthday. Thank you very much. Come on, we'll bring on the Waterford next. We'll hammer you, lads.
Hello everyone, Dundalk 2, Drogheda 1. There's not really one word really disappointing, especially losing to your rivals in Dundalk and the loud derby up in Oriel. Look, we had chances there, there's no doubt about that, but we couldn't convert them. Even on corners or whatnot, we didn't even test the keeper at all, Peter Cherry. Especially there, look, the only chance really we had was the Chris Lyons goal in the last minute of the game, make it 2-1. Everything else was I think the first half we were bullied. They dominated us, Dundalk. All past the game really, we had a chance there in the second half. Like I said, we couldn't convert them. We pushed in the second half with the likes of Ronan Murray, flicking the balls into Chris Lyons and the whole lot. We couldn't even do that either. James Brown crossing it in as well, and it's disappointing there when you lose to Dundalk, one of the rivals, like I said, and you know, I think it was a bit disappointing as well when Matt Doyle didn't come on. You know, he didn't start. To be fair, I thought he wasn't even on the team sheet. You know, he didn't even feature on the team sheet, so that was another disappointing thing. But he came on and, you know, he didn't really do much as well. Killian Phillips, you know, a young fella like him, he done quite well there in midfield. Controlled the ball a few times, you know, just, you know, unfortunate that he was on the losing end. Look, now we've a big game against Sligo next Friday or Saturday. I forget now, it was on the 30th anyway. And then Bohs on after that. Look, two tough games, you know. Sligo, I think, lost today against Derry. They'll obviously won't be playing better now against us, and I think Bohs as well lost to Rovers, so they're going to be two tough games. But look, I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully we can get a good result, and if we can play better what we did today, I think we have a very good chance of, you know, maybe getting at least a draw or a win. We'll see what happens.